I'm going to tell you something that's been haunting me for years. Something I've never been able to forget. It's a memory from when I was very young, maybe 5 or 6. And even now, every time I think about it, my skin crawls. I remember playing in the water that day. It wasn't deep, just the shallow part of a lake. I wasn't there because I couldn't swim. I could, but I loved rolling around in the water, feeling the coolness on my skin, splashing and laughing. It was peaceful, at least at first. But then, something changed. I don't know what triggered it. Maybe it was the wind, maybe it was just me. But I remember this overwhelming feeling of sadness washing over me. It hit me out of nowhere. One second I was laughing, and the next I felt empty, unsettled, like something wasn't right. I started tearing up. But the weird thing, no tears came out. It was just this hollow ache in my chest. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. So I just stood there, staring at the water, feeling off. After a few minutes, the feeling passed. Or maybe I just forced it away. I started laughing again, splashing around like nothing had happened. I convinced myself I was fine, but I wasn't. Not really. And then, I grabbed it. I don't know why I picked that spot. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe something drew me to it. But when my fingers touched it, I knew something was very, very wrong. At first, I thought it was a mask. It felt hard, smooth in some places, rough in others. There was grass clinging to it, like it had been underwater for a long time. But as I lifted it out of the water, I realized it wasn't just a mask. There was skin, there was bone, and my fingers were in the eye sockets. It wasn't a mask. It was a piece of someone's skull. It looked like someone had carved off the front of a human face and flattened it out. The thought still makes me feel sick. I froze. My heart was pounding, my mind racing. I wanted to scream, to drop it and run. But I couldn't move. I just stood there holding it, staring at it. And then I heard something. It was faint, like a whisper carried on the wind. I couldn't make out the words, but it sent chills down my spine. It felt like someone was watching me. I don't remember how long I stood there. It felt like hours, but it was probably just a few seconds. Eventually, I dropped it, let it fall back into the water, and I ran. I didn't tell anyone. Not then. Who would believe me? A kid with a wild imagination. But I knew what I saw. I knew what I felt. And I knew it wasn't right. Over the years, I've tried to convince myself it wasn't real. Maybe it was a piece of driftwood. Maybe my mind played tricks on me. But deep down, I know the truth. It was real. And it's still out there. Sometimes I wonder, whose face was it? How did it end up there? And more importantly, why did I find it? I guess I'll never know. But one thing's for sure, I'll never forget that day. And neither will you.